What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we are here to take a look at another full-sized SUV. This is the all-new 2021 Chevy Suburban. Suburban, that is a name we are all familiar with, as it's been known to stand the test of time. As a matter of fact, we first heard it back in 1934, and it is recognized as the longest continuous name used in the automotive industry. So it's been around for quite some time. This is the 12th generation Suburban. It features all-wheel drive, and it is a massive SUV by anyone's standards. As a matter of fact, if you're looking at this vehicle, you better have some kids and be interested in taking some road trips. I'm talking Griswold level road trips. Only my OG subscribers are gonna know who the Griswolds are. So this particular Suburban has been finished in midnight blue. It features a maple leather interior, which is a great contrast. I think that looks really nice. And then it's priced at about $77,000 as shown. So today I wanna take a look at the exterior and interior details of the all-new 2021 Chevy Suburban and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Starting the review at the front of the Suburban, you'll notice it still features the traditional proportions, but also features more modern looks with these sculpted body lines. Now the grille is fully done in chrome. You do have LED headlamps and LED daytime running lamps as well. I think that's a nice touch. Underneath the hood on this particular model, you're looking at a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbo diesel producing 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. That's connected to a 10-speed automatic transmission. But overall from the front, I must say this 12th generation looks a lot more handsome than generations before it. Even though this is the size of a bus, it still lets me feel like it's a little bit more aerodynamic with the curves incorporated in the car's bodywork, and especially with these vents here that channel air over the front wheels while the vehicle's in motion. Let's go ahead and check out the side profile. Taking a look at this 2021 Suburban from the side profile, it is instantly recognizable as the Suburban with its traditional looks, but they have a modern flair to them, which brings it into the 21st century. So I like these sharp and bold lines that go all the way from the front of the vehicle to the rear. Now, speaking of the vehicle's size, from the front to the back, you're looking at 225 inches. I cannot stress to you enough how massive this vehicle is. Your wheelbase is 134 inches. That is extremely large, so that's gonna give you a really smooth ride. In addition to that, this also features Chevy's magnetic ride control, so you know that silky smooth ride is gonna be there as well. Now, for the first time, ever since the Suburban has been out, we're finally getting a fully independent rear multi-link suspension. I wish we saw that in previous generations, but for the 12th generation, it is finally here. Now, coming to the aesthetics, I'm digging this midnight blue against the chrome accents here. So look, you have chrome side view mirrors, chrome window surrounds, and then you also have chrome accents on this step here as well. Now, of course, you have the Suburban lettering on both sides of the front doors, 20-inch chrome wheels all around. So that chrome is definitely jumping out against that midnight blue, especially when it comes to the roof rails here as well. Now, coming further back, I love the way the rear glass sits almost flush with the car's bodywork, again adding to that overall sleek and modern design, which previous generation Suburbans simply did not have. The rear of the Suburban features a modern and minimalistic look, partially due to the fact that designers went out their way to hide that rear windshield wiper blade that's typically here. It's been hidden underneath this lower roof spoiler. It gives it a nice clean look. Coming lower, you have the chrome accents that go nice against that midnight blue. You have the Suburban lettering and the Duramax badge as well, because you have that diesel power plant. Now, coming to the tail lamps, I want to make mention that the tail lamps have a hybrid setup of LEDs and incandescent bulbs. So your reverse and turning signal bulbs are incandescent bulbs, but the overall brake lamps are LEDs. Now, for this price point, I think Chevy should have went with a 100% LED setup, so I will make mention of that. Now, let's talk a little bit about storage capacity. If I want to access the rear compartment, I can simply hit this button on the key here. That pops open this rear glass instead of the entire hatch, and I can access items back in my storage. Now I can close this, press another button on the remote twice, it opens up the rear hatch entirely, giving me full access to the storage in the back of the vehicle. Now with the third row up, I'm looking at about 41 cubic feet of storage. I can drop the third row using these two buttons here. They drop automatically, and I want to make mention that they are able to be raised automatically from the back as well. So that gives me more storage. I'm looking at 93 cubic feet of storage with the third row dropped. I can also drop the second row, and that's gonna give me a total of 144 cubic feet of storage. You can fit almost another car back here. That's how much storage you're looking at. So overall from the back, I'm pretty impressed with the storage capacity of this vehicle. It is a humongous vehicle by anyone's standards. Remember, I said it's about 225 inches long. If you're looking at this, best check to make sure it'll fit in your garage. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. Taking a look at the interior of this all-new Suburban, it is massive. And after all, you would expect it to be because it shares the same platform as the Chevy Silverado 1500. Starting at the top of the dash, it's covered in an injection molded material done in that maple. You have a 10.25-inch display system here for your infotainment system. Gives you your Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, everything that you would expect in a modern vehicle. It is nice and responsive as well. Overall, I am impressed with the size, and it has its own Wi-Fi as you would expect. Now, coming to the rest of the dash, you do have some wood accents here, and then more injection molded material, some storage here as well. That if you come over to this side, you have buttons for your park, reverse, neutral, and drive. A nice modern theme here. So no more of that large stock or that column shifter coming out the steering wheel. You just have buttons here that give you a nice clean look. You have your air conditioning system, controls for your air conditioning system down here as well, controls for your heated and ventilated seats that you have up front, and then of course controls for your volume. So you do have a volume knob here. Not everything is just related to the touchscreen. They do give you a volume knob here that looks nice. And then coming further down, you do have your USB ports, an SD card slot, and then wireless charging as well. So overall, you do have all your modern amenities that you would expect. Now, I will say in this center column here, it does seem a little bit plasticky, especially for a car with an $80,000 price point here. So I'm just gonna say that. But of course, people who are going after this vehicle really want it for the cargo and the size and the ability to carry their family wherever they go. So some people might not care about that. You do have two cup holders here, and then coming further back, you do have a large storage system here, deep storage down here as well, and then a nice rubber place for you to put your cell phone if you want to put it here as well, and then two cup holders in the back of the center console as well. Now, one neat feature I noticed about this center console is that you can slide it backwards or forwards. Check this out. By pressing this button, it allows it to go back so you can take advantage of the storage below, or you can simply put it back to where it is. It's all electronic. Now, could this just be a simple manual system? Yes, but I think this is a nice touch. Now, coming over to the steering wheel, nothing special here. A nice large steering wheel wrapped in black leather with the Chevy symbol in the middle. Behind the steering wheel, you do have two analog gauges and then a small digital instrument panel in between the gauges. I do wish it was a huge thin film transistor display. Again, this is almost an $80,000 vehicle, so I will say that. The seats overall are extremely plush and comfortable. It's almost like sitting on a couch. Again, 3 levels of heating and ventilation as well, and they are power adjustable. So these bucket seats up front do feel really nice. Coming over to the door panels, they're also finished in that maple trim with stitching, and then you also have wood accents as well. Controls for all 4 windows and side view mirrors, and then again, plenty of storage as you would expect in any Suburban. Let's go ahead and check out the rear. When it comes to the second row seating, these captain's chairs are extremely comfortable. You can sit back here for hours on end. Plenty of space, and everything is really nice on these captain's chairs. I like these armrests. They're not too flimsy like in some other SUVs we've seen. The overall legroom in the back, you're looking at 42.5 inches as compared to the 44 or 45 inches that's up front. So it's quite spacious back here. You also have 12.6-inch display systems on the backs of either side of the front seat, so your rear entertainment system is there as well. You have a huge panoramic roof as well, but overall, sitting back here is quite nice. Now, you do have 4 USB ports here, controls for your air conditioning system, access to a home outlet, and then 2 cup holders back here that have been placed on the back of the front console. So that is really nice. Overall, the door panels are finished in the same level of quality that you found up front, and there's just plenty of storage and space back here. You even have storage integrated into the back of the front seats as well. Now let's go ahead and check out that third row seating and see how much space is back there. Getting to the third row is simple. There are 2 levers located on the side of these captain's chairs. The front lever allows this chair to be slid backwards and forwards, but the second lever allows the chair to collapse. And then I can simply pull on this, and then that gives me access to get into the third row. So as you can see, getting to the third row is fairly simple. I do have plenty of light. There's light coming from the panoramic roof and these large side windows. Now overall, the storage, you do have cup holders and USB ports on either side, and the legroom back here is decent as well. You're looking at about 36 inches of legroom. Now let's go ahead and get the Suburban out on the road and see how it rides. All right, so we're in the driving portion. We have this 2021 Chevy Suburban out on the road. This thing is a mammoth. It is really a large vehicle, and it is really geared towards those who have a large family. You got a lot of kids, or you have large items that you need to transport all the time. This might be a vehicle worth looking at. Overall ride quality is fairly smooth.
Or you just like something extremely large.
Yeah, some people like that.
Let's just put that on the table.
Yeah, some people like that. If you're that person who buys large SUVs like this and it's only you in the vehicle, don't do that. Stop doing that. I see y'all in traffic all the time. We can't see over you, we can't see around you, and it hurts that much more when it's for no reason. All right, so with that being said, this is a family vehicle. Something you can take long road trips in and carry a lot of people in at the same time. You know, it does have safety features such as your blind spot assist. You have a nice large 15-inch head-up display that does have color. Again, you have this infotainment system here as well. The overall ride is really quiet, right? I do like the interior. Isha, what are your thoughts on this vehicle?
First thoughts is that, as we know, it's really large.
Yes.
Okay, it feels like it's a 15-passenger van. You guys know what I'm talking about.
One of them church buses.
Yes, that I used to drive way back in the day, okay? But, you know, it's really nice on the inside. It really is. The outside is very striking. You can't miss it, obviously.
Right.
You know, from the interior, you know, all the way to back, they done a great job. You know, I mean, that's first impressions. Wow. It is very comfortable.
It's a very comfortable ride. Yeah. I just can't get over the size of it. This one does have the diesel power plant. You're looking at 20 miles per gallon city, 26 highway. Combined is going to be 22 miles per gallon, just in case you guys were wondering. Now, new for this year, as I mentioned, this does have a fully independent rear suspension, and that makes a difference. People have been, you know, beaten down on General Motors for years to put the fully independent rear suspension systems and, you know, their vehicles such as this, the Tahoe or the Suburban, you know, the Escalade, stuff like that. And it seems like they're finally doing it. Acceleration wise, you know, it's decent acceleration. You know, you're not looking to do any 0 to 60 times in something like this, but it does get you moving. So
it does. For this big vehicle,
yeah,
it moves.
It has enough power, I will say that. So what do you think about the quality of the seats?
Oh, I love it. They did a great job. This is exactly what it should be at this price point, or maybe even better, but this is good.
It's decent.
You know, we have rode in other vehicles in this price point where the quality of the leather or the seats or the interior in general is kind of poor.
Right.
This is good. This is what you should get. Even more if you're into the wood grain, and May could possibly offer more of that, or you know, some Alcantara, or you know, more carbon fiber. I mean, I know those are racing type things, but for this price point, you might be looking for those things.
Right. This is an expensive vehicle, fully options. The one we're in now is about $77,000. Let's just call it 80, and it's built for people who have families. Now, if you have a lot of kids, that being said, you might not be able to afford one of these, right? I mean, realistically, I mean, this is an expensive vehicle. The interior is nice. I do wish this center console wasn't as plasticky. I feel like this could be updated just a little bit more, Isha, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, we've seen some others that are
look a little bit more modern.
Yeah. I don't hate it though, so that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me.
People going after this are going after the storage capacity and the amount of passengers.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Did you notice the two 12.6-inch display screens?
Yeah, I was going to say that. It has offers a lot of tech too.
Tons of USB ports in here.
Right. It better.
Right. Tons of USB ports for charging. You know, you got your wireless charging here. I'm digging the panoramic roof in this vehicle.
Yeah, that's needed because I believe there is another model.
We had the Tahoe,
yeah,
and it did not have it.
It did not, and if you're in the back, and if you're claustrophobic, don't even do it.
It's like sitting in a black hole.
Yeah, it's really, really cramped back there. It's dark. It feels small. You know, this is a much more open
more
setup.
Spacious, yeah.
Yeah.
That Tahoe had a black interior, and it didn't have a panoramic roof or a sunroof at that.
Right.
And you felt that.
Right.
That was one of my major complaints on that specific one we reviewed.
Right.
In here.
And then also you have the option to have a different type of seating setup, you said.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this second row can actually be bench seating,
right,
which could make the third row feel more even closed in.
Yeah.
So
correct.
Those are just things, takeaways, you know, to look out for.
Right. So it really depends on how many people you want in here. I prefer to have the bucket seats or the captain's chairs.
Yeah.
And the second row, like this one has, gives you a bit of a pass through.
It actually, that's what I was going to say. It has that pass through.
Yeah.
If you've noticed in some of the other SUVs, even the larger ones, there's no space to get to the back.
Right.
And it has, you know, the captain's chairs, but there's no space to get back there. You're like,
yeah. It's like
a tiny aisle.
Trying to slide into a pew if you're late for church service, right?
Right. Exactly.
So,
exactly. This actually has almost like a walking room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And tons of cup holders in this vehicle as well. You guys know what it is. This is the 12th generation of the Suburban. They've improved on it generation after generation. This vehicle has been around forever. You know what you're getting when it comes to vehicles like this. Up to 144 cubic feet of storage. I mean, you can fit a compact car in the back there.
Honestly, I didn't know that they were still making this vehicle because it's very large. You know, as you told me, I personally thought that it still was not fuel efficient, you know, from back in the day. You know, it guzzled gas, but
you're getting 22 city,
right,
which isn't bad for what it is.
Which I think they've worked on that.
And they do sell these, you know. The FBI, they love these things, right? You know, get it in all black. It is it's a handsome looking SUV. I will say that.
It is. It's nice. It's big. It feels like you're in a house.
Yeah.
On wheels. Now,
in other countries, this is considered a house.
Yeah. Right. Well, I did want to make mention of some of the other vehicles that we have rode in that are this size, that are large. It feels heavy topped and very unstable.
Yeah.
This feels stable around. It doesn't feel like you're riding in a bus. Let me say that.
Right.
You know, it doesn't feel like, all the weight is up front.
You get that revised suspension plays a part in that.
Yeah.
And that magnetic ride control also plays a part in how this vehicle feels. It's still heavy. It's still probably around 7,000 pounds or so. But the way it feels makes all the difference in the overall experience when you're riding in this.
And I definitely can feel that in this.
Yeah. Yep. So overall, that's my thoughts. If you guys are interested in this vehicle, be sure to check it out. Those of you who are familiar with the Suburban, you know what it is. This goes into one of Chevy's greatest hits category because it's been around forever. This is the 12th generation of this vehicle.
Yeah,
so
somebody loves them.
Somebody's buying them. So with that said, we'll end the video here. Isha, I want to thank you for joining me on this one.
I think we need to put on some music, that music from back in the day, I don't know, riding on, tipping on fofo, something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Because of the big body.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? You know. Okay.
See that lamp?
Get out of here. I see the Lambo.
All right. So that was a brief overview of this 2021 Chevy Suburban. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Is this a vehicle that could meet your family's needs? Well, it definitely meets anybody's family needs, but if you have plenty of kids, could you see your family in this vehicle? It offers tons of space, tons of storage capacity, and it definitely gets the job done. And with the new curvaceous yet squared off traditional looks, it definitely is a looker, especially in this midnight blue. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out some of my other videos if you have some additional time. That will definitely help out the algorithm. Until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.